I remember the moment clearly. The repair had been done. The wall was dry. Everything looked resolved. And yet, every time I spent more than a few minutes in that space, my body felt heavier. Not sick. Not anxious. Just subtly off, like it was working harder than it should have been. That was when I realized fixing damage doesn't always mean the body is finished responding. Before I go further, I want to gently orient us. This is how I show up right now. I use an AI version of myself, so I can share lived experience, research, and what I learned through trial and error without overwhelming my nervous system. If you're here because your body keeps reacting even after a problem looks solved, you're not imagining it. For a long time, I thought water damage was a moment in time, a leak, a spill, a repair. Once it was addressed, I believed the risk was over. What I didn't understand yet was how moisture can change an environment in quieter ways. Materials hold on to it, air systems circulate it, and mycotoxins can linger even when surfaces look clean. Looking back, my body was responding to those changes before I understood them. My breathing felt slightly restricted. My energy dipped faster. My nervous system stayed alert in that space, even though there was no visible reason to be concerned. At the time, I assumed the issue was psychological. I told myself I was being cautious or sensitive, but there was a misunderstanding underneath that assumption. I believed that danger had to be present to matter. I didn't yet understand that residue can still affect the body, even after the source looks gone. Mycotoxins don't require active growth to have an impact. They can remain in dust, porous materials, and air circulation. And for some bodies, especially ones that have already been through exposure, that residual load is enough to keep the system from settling. Once I understood that, something important shifted. I stopped judging my reactions. I didn't need to panic or tear everything apart. I just needed to respect that my body was responding to input I couldn't see. Over time, as that environment became more consistent and predictable, my system softened. Not immediately, gradually. The low-level vigilance eased as my body learned that nothing new was being added to the load. If you're living in a space where a leak was fixed or damage was repaired, but your body still doesn't feel settled, I want to say this gently. That doesn't mean the repair failed, and it doesn't mean you're stuck. It may mean your body is still recalibrating after stress it carried quietly. As we come toward the end of this reflection, I want to ground this in something steady. Healing doesn't always follow the timeline of repairs. The body moves on its own schedule, based on consistency, not appearances. If you want to read more lived reflections like this, where I explore mold, mycotoxins, and recovery through experience rather than instruction, I share them at indoorarinsights.com. It's simply a place where I put language to experiences that are easy to dismiss but hard to live through. For now, you don't need to force your body to trust a space just because it looks fine. You're allowed to listen to what your system is telling you and give it time to catch up.